Hey, you're all little snowflakes. Cold and with jagged little sharp edges that you can't really see until you get up close and really meet people and learn that they are really like snowflakes. Fantastic. Morning, everybody. My name is Curtis, and this is another day. Um, Today, I think the topic might be imagination. I don't know if I'm going to put text there. Imagination. Maybe I did it again. I don't know. I can't tell if trying to do four of these a week. Hey, tune in Tuesday to Friday for morning, everybody. It's your morning show. Get your day started, no matter what time of day you're starting your day, from morning or noon, or after the light of day has crept below. Anyway, maybe, maybe trying to do four shows a week has made me crazy. Maybe it's making me crazy, or I am crazy, and that's why I'm making four shows a week. It's hard to tell sometimes. I just know that I do need to do this every day, or like the speed bus, I will explode. Um, yeah, if I don't go below 55 episodes. Not good enough at math to figure out what that would be. Four times something divided by, etc. You all know what I'm talking about. Keanu Reeves. Um, but speaking of getting like a job or becoming a thing in the world, i.e., hey, I don't have to put together a resume to do a YouTube video. Nobody does. That's the beauty of the YouTube videos is that you can just be like, um, I'd like a job where I don't get paid to do kind of whatever I want, and whoever wants to see it can see it. Can I have that job? Oh yes. Line up here. Just put your email address or something over there, and you're on YouTube. But now, with the Google age, where everything is owned by everything, oh, do you have a Facebook or an email account? You're already on YouTube. You just haven't posted anything yet. You're welcome. Much like oh, you signed up for an internet account? Well, then you already have an email that you don't check, and you have web space you're not using, and all kinds of things that these extra weird little fees you get charged for things you never use, and they know you'll never ever use them, but for the love of God, you will pay for them for whoever's using them. I don't know. Somebody's got somebody up all night long on those call centers, two phones at a time. Just I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to make a website. So what are you trying to do then? This is a real story. A guy I know worked at one of those things where it is like, hey, give us your stuff and we'll put together your website for you or something. I don't know. Or maybe they were just tech support for some sort of web thing. And this guy literally was like, all right, so I got a bunch of pictures here. Like, all right, so you're going to want to upload those? Or, no, I got a bunch of pictures here. What do you mean? Like, I want to put them in an envelope and send them to you, and then you turn them into a website for me, please. Okay, you totally signed up for the wrong service. I think they might have done it, though. I think he might have said, you know what? Put a stamp on those. I'm gonna make you a website from your pile of old pictures for whatever reason. People are nice. People do nice things for the craziest of people for the craziest of reasons. But yeah, there's no other than setting this stuff up and realizing I already have the setup ready to go. I just have to hit record and do whatever I want. Um, no need for any of that madness. I mean, realistically, in the resume world, the last few resumes I've put together were months and months after I had the job. Because it was usually one of those situations where it's, hey, we want to get some funding, we want to get some more work, we need to prove that the people who work here have any kind of background. Can you put together a resume? Because, we've just worked together forever, or I know your work, or whatever, so you just work here. I wouldn't waste your time or my time with reading your resume, because, like, I'm probably going to be one of the references, So get to work. And or just that, like a lot of my jobs have been Hey, I saw your YouTube video. Okay, can you animate something for me? Do you have money? No, not usually. Excellent. Um, get some money together, and then I'll animate that thing, and you can pay me to do that. And that's how the trading of goods and services works in the world for a million years, like forever. That's how it's always worked. There's no reason for you to think that you can just ask somebody who puts up a bunch of cartoons on the internet to just make you a cartoon. Can you? I mean, yeah, probably. There are times when I'm like, if somebody asked me to do something right now, I would just do it for fun because I really want to. Usually, I have 95 other things to do, so even within this show, as much as I'd love to spend a lot of time making extra animated and just fun time segment content to cut to within this show, making the show takes some time, and then making content takes time. So I've got to, I don't know, find some sort of balance in the force and be able to do a little bit of both. But again, once this gets rolling and I get a little more used to setting this stuff up so it doesn't take me all day and all night to get, a half hour out into the YouTube, um, then more content, or new content, I should say. I've got so many things to put in there. Um, Speaking of resumes and, I don't know, trying to prove to people stuff though, uh, at our office, at our studio, whatever you want to call it, we're gonna get, or well, a school was basically like, hey, do you want some interns to come in and do some stuff, and then they can kind of learn as they go, and that's good for everybody, and you don't have to pay them, and I don't know. We got one. You get you. It's such a it's such a sliding scale of anything could happen. It could be we just got these people and all they need to do is learn. And that's great, but we got a lot of work to do. So we kind of need somebody who can learn as they do things or learn from doing things and everybody benefits. We need that part that's, kind of promised. Blah, blah, blah. Get a couple people who are like, yep, they're interested. They actually have the kind of the skills to pay the bills, so they might be viable within this environment. And awesome, excellent. So the people who need the programmer basically goes and meets them because they're programming guys and sees, what are they all about, and sees their work basically, and yep, they did this stuff and blah 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 blah. None of your business. Non-disclosure agreements. But uh, meanwhile, back at the office, we sit there and we have resumes. People send resumes, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I personally don't care about your resume. I'll still, odds are, look through it to get pertinent information, but I honestly assume most people's resumes are like just a list of lies that you tell me and yourself to convince us both that you can do a thing that you probably either really want to do, need to do, or maybe can do, but this isn't really what you know about it. This is the elegant way. This is the resume way of speaking. And I've taught the class on here's how you put a resume together, and the whole thing just feels like here's how you trick people into thinking you know more than you do, or here's how you trick people who think you don't know anything into understanding that you do know exactly what you do know. It's insane. Like, the world is insane, and it is just trying to eat us up while we try not to get eaten, and yet still play by the rules, but make sure the rules get beaten, or else you just don't get it anywhere. Like, you don't get anywhere. And that's just how it is. So poor Shelby, who's the newest and freshest out of school of our little game design clan, she was like pretty excited to see the resumes, and she's reading through them and saying things out loud like, oh, it says they know this and it says they can do that. Yep. And then she's like, you've seen this, right? Like, no. The guy met with the guy, and if what he showed him gels with what we need him to know and how the gel needs to mix, then that's all I need. That resume, like, and I just said that, it was just like, that resume's full of lies. Like, no, it's not. It can't be. Yeah, everybody just lies on their resume. whether they want to or not. And then she was like, I didn't. I put so much work into my resume. Like, yeah, you took the resume course that I used to teach that's now being taught by somebody who's even more, just more better, more adept at that whole writing process for business, for people who want you to lie, to explain things, and whatever. So it's just that, like, you give me the resumes, and I went through it and I was like, okay, first of all, like, this is what's wrong with this. Sorry if it's you. In the list of skills, the first skill is great interest in learning new skills or making my skills better or something like that. Like, nope, wrong. If I didn't already get verbal information on how you are as a human being, then I would hate you. Like, your resume makes me hate you. That's just a fact of life. That's what resumes are designed to do. They're supposed to make me love you. But for me personally, I see it as, thou doth protest too much, as so I hate you. And it's probably not true, but it's how my brain works, and that's why I do a YouTube thing instead of looking at resumes all day, because I'm a terrible person. I don't know, whatever that means. So yeah, it's just like, you can put that in there, but that definitely goes at the bottom of your list of skills. Your first skill should be your best actual skill, and then the last thing should be an eagerness to gain more skills and experience points. I'm on board. Excellent. Good idea. At the top, oh, cool. So your first skill is, I need more skills? I need the skills right away. I need you to have the skills, not an eagerness to get them. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe my resume is just as bad. I know mine for years mentioned the fact that I clean bathrooms at the animation studio because, I don't know. I don't care. It's a true fact, and it's just like, here's a list of the things I've done. Let's just meet or whatever, or just look at my stuff. Just look at my stuff, and I think it speaks for itself. Me trying to explain to you that I draw pictures, hopefully as good as you need to, doesn't make any sense, because, again, so many people just put on their resume, hey, I worked on this show, or I worked on whatever, even though they did nothing of any kind of importance. But yet you're hiring them based on a certain level of importance. It seems, it's still not a lie, but it's just wedged in such a way where it seems like, yeah, they could have been a real big deal over at that place that we really respect and want to hire people from, and here they are. And they're probably not just the janitor who had nothing to do with the art process, or maybe they were the Good Will Hunting janitor who actually behind the scenes was doing all the equations on the wall, and people were like, I don't know what kind of Keebler elf is doing this, but we're gonna wear these shoes and we're gonna make this a hit. And the janitor just kept mopping away in the background, and everything is fine. Everything is fine. But I don't know. That's the miracle of Joey Ramone life, the circle of life. Too much job things exploding in my head right now. Too many tangents. So that means it's time for a cartoon. And we're back. Hardest lever in the world to pull. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why imaginary things. Just that's the life of a mime. I assume. Um, I think I have to sit down and watch some kind of mime documentary, and then we'll do a very special morning, everybody, about mimes because I really don't know anything about mimes other than I see in movies the people making fun of mimes and how dumb they are, and I'm usually very impressed with mime style movement, but I can't. I wouldn't watch a mime movie, but a documentary about like the pain of a mime. I think that would, or at least why and how. What are you doing? I know there's mime schools because that's where Peter Weller, Peter Sellers, Peter Weller, yes, RoboCop went for the first RoboCop and studied extensively for like 3 or 4 months on how to mime robot walk, and then we have the iconic, great, fantastic robot man movement that we have in the first RoboCop movie, and that for some reason, I mean, obviously, I know why we got rid of it. In the new reboot, where that movie is terrible, and it's just like cool. If you made a RoboCop game, this is how the game should be, but the movie is silly. It's silly from beginning. It has awesome people, so many awesome people in it. Silly, silly movie. I don't know. I was horribly disappointed. But if you want to really enjoy life, watch yourself the RoboCop reboot, and then go watch the original RoboCop, and you'll be like, "What? What? Were we better at making this guy? This guy who made this movie, I know, is a maniac, and we should probably like lock him up or something. Like, pretty sure he's a terrible person, but he makes great movies. And the old days is when terrible people made great things, and we were happy about it until the future came around and Mel Gibson ruined everything, and all those directors, and finding out all the things that Jack Nicholson used to do. Man, Jack Nicholson's life is pretty cringeworthy or exciting, depending on how you look at life. I'm gonna cringe because that's like I don't know. It's all rumors and whatever, so I don't want to be one of those people. This isn't the Acquire. This is Morning, everybody, where we're talking, having some fun, having some good times. Here, listen. Start your day. Be whatever you want to be, in whatever way. You don't need a resume to be yourself. Basically, one thing. This episode is about imagination and animation and resumes and being a thing. I just decided that now, and that's how this show works. So in junior high school, yes, there was an art class, but we didn't get to have art all year round. So I had to wait till like the second half of the year, or I don't know if it was broken up into thirds or quarters. Either way, I could only see the art room and know that it was there, and it was full of all kinds of just crazy stuff. Like when we get to art, like I think we're gonna sculpt. I don't know. I think maybe we'll do pottery. There's so many things in there, and I'm terrified. But I assume they're gonna teach us. They're gonna show us. It's gonna be a great education process. This is my stepping stone. This is where it starts. Like junior high at that time still seemed pretty big and pretty scary. So anything was possible. It was, college as far as I knew. Like I don't know. So anyway, finally get around to art class. The science teacher or the geography teacher, whatever he is teaching the art class. But he looks like an art teacher. He kind of seems like, yeah, you're like an artsy type guy who also happens to teach geography. So no big deal. And this is going to be cool. And it wasn't. He didn't know anything. Like, he was like, I don't know, guys, like, try maybe using, like, the side of your pencil sometimes. Like, I see people do that to get, like, some shady shades. And, like, I don't know, we got some paint here. Like, I guess you put water in it. Like, put some water. And if you put more water, it gets, like, more watery. And here's a color wheel. So that could help you mix colors. I know that, yellow and blue make green. Does that help? Anybody? You making anybody an artist yet? Doing my best. You buy a sketchbook from me, it's got like 30 pages in it, and it'll cost you $10. That seems like a terrible deal. Terrible deal. This is the paper that we use here, so when you are drawing, we prefer you use this specific art paper. You're saying that as the geography teacher who doesn't know anything about anything. The level at which we will be drawing in here and the amount of dumb things we'll be doing, I think that we could just use Xerox paper out of the photocopy machine. Or we could all like pay $4 or like chip in a quarter, get a ream of cheap paper, and then just draw on that. Or I'll just draw on my scribbler, honestly, just on line paper, because this is a big waste. I'd rather get this sketchbook and go home and use it for my real drawings, because this is insane. So then he tells us that the real way, like the real proper way, okay, he's gotten some information, is to first, like, completely picture, like you already make the picture in your brain, so it's there, you make sure you can visualize it, you can see it, and then it's easy. All you have to do is trace that perfectly onto a piece of paper, and you're done. That's how art is done. You don't just start drawing. Never ever do that. You have to completely, it's there. And that sounds like a great way to do, like, it does make sense. I'm not saying like that's wrong and that's crazy. That makes complete sense. Except I feel like, or I know for a fact, that my imagination, it doesn't stay still. Like it doesn't. I can't take pictures and be like, yeah, I'm gonna draw that one. It's constantly. It's like those videos, that film strip of like guys building boats in the 20s, you know, that everything's super fast. And then, you know, that's the way my brain is, you know, so, you know, I'm honestly, a lot of times I'm imagining like hummingbirds doing stuff all the time because they're just real fast. I don't really feel like thinking about hummingbirds, but they represent the speed at which my thoughts are moving. And I don't know, maybe I should look into that now that I say it out loud and especially record it for later. Idiot. Whole scheme down the toilet. But no, he explained his reason was one of the students a year or two before that, she was the best. And he had like some of her drawings on the wall, and that's what she would do. She would visualize it perfectly, then I think draw it in marker so that she wouldn't even have to do a rough drawing in pencil, and then color that with pencil crayons or markers or some sort of, who cares. And he was so impressed, and the drawings that she did to me were like, all right, they're not terrible. They are better than I can draw at this point in time in my life, but stylistically speaking, they are low level Garfield knockoff-ish characters. Again, that's what we do as an animator. That's all I'm constantly doing, is trying to work at somebody else's style. Ugh. This cat right here, I mean, that's how I want to draw cats, as like a square with ears that like has a corner. I don't know. I really like how plain and nothing he is, but he is still an orange cat. But my first cat was an orange cat named Garfield. I don't know if I named it. I don't know. But this was also my cat, who was real, named Milo, just like Jimothy Davis named his cat after his cat. Let's not talk about cats anymore. I'm making myself sick. So this girl basically destroyed me. She was out there. She didn't know that this geography teacher was using her method from grade 7 to teach people this is the artistic method completely. So I grew up terrified and trying, like, I have to force these images to just freeze and then take them down perfectly. And it wasn't until many years later that I learned nobody does that. All real artists, and I still am terrible. I don't get reference. I just don't. I sit there with some paper and I start drawing. Often I don't think about what it is I'm about to draw. It's just, hey, taking frames from from the old timey black and white movie of all kinds of things happening and dinosaurs and whatever, and then I just start drawing things, and it's insane when people watch me draw. I'll do an episode of this one day that's just, hey, hang out and draw with me, and I will speak out loud my thought process as to how we get to whatever it is we get to, because it's completely insane. I've done it once before where I'm like, let's design some characters, and I designed two weird blobby amoeba characters, and then when you watch it back, it doesn't make any sense at all, because I'm like, oh, here's a circle. You know, it'll be cool. This circle was stretched out right here. Here's some eyes over there. You know what this guy could use? A big body. Little body, squish it in. And I just kept doing things, and it's like, all right, cool. Delete that. Draw something similar but different, because now I have an idea. And it's just like, well, what was your idea to begin with? Like, I had zero ideas at all. It was halfway through where, like, it's going to be some kind of weird amoeba type man. Other than I'm pretty sure he's going to end up with a tie and maybe a briefcase. I usually don't know. Like, my thought process for making characters usually is, okay, no tie and briefcase. Just design something that applies to what's happening right now, not a weird little businessman. Everybody can't be little Mirko, but why can't everybody be little Mirko? So, I don't know if that's proof, if that's what's the point, if there's supposed to be a point to this, how much time? Okay. Final thoughts, I guess. We've made enough time that I've rambled enough now. Now I can wrap it up. You don't need a resume to be anything. Just that, like, I have a different process to how I do art, and I still do art for a living. So it's possible. You don't have to follow the specific ways of doing things. Sometimes it's okay to start in the middle. Sometimes it's okay to start at the end. It works for Quentin Tarantino, and it works for Robert Rodriguez, his friend. Sometimes I rhyme. Link below to buy a book of sketches and drawings by me. By sketches and drawings, I mean poems and sketches, because that's what it is. And again, another thing, I didn't apply to do that. I just started writing it, and I've written another one actually that we're going to get going through this show there soon, and that's going to be fun as well. But yeah, there's too many people out there doing things, and it's just like, well, how and why? Why and how? What did you do? My geography art teacher said that I have to follow the rules and meet the people who set the rules and then do it their way, or else I'm doing it wrong. So what say you, everybody else in the world? And then you meet them and they say, no, yeah, I met that guy, and it seemed really crazy, and I know he invented it and stuff, but I think that he needed it to be more complicated than it needed to be. So I changed that process to what I think worked for me, and now I'm doing great. And stuff like that keeps coming around, and that's how life works. If you watch a Shark Tank or a Dragon's Den, you're never left without both seeing, hey, here's my stupid dumb idea. It's stupid and dumb. You wanna get rich with it? No, get out of here. You're stupid and you're dumb. And then another person that says, hey, I have a stupid dumb idea that's stupid and dumb in a different way. But I don't know. Whatever. Do you wanna do something with this? Yes, we do. Let's get rich with that stupid dumb idea. Because everything is a stupid dumb idea, and everything is a brilliant idea. It's all in who your audience is and what your audience is. And far too often, most of my life, trying to do stuff in the entertainment world, games, cartoons, and podcast and YouTube, I'm always pushed into that hole of, all right, this is what's popular, this is what people are into, this is the audience. Now, fit all of your things into the view of this audience. All right, cool. What if my things are for a different audience? Well, they don't have any money now or something, or we don't care about them. This is the audience that we want. This audience. Okay. So with this show, again, not supposed to talk about your show. on the show, but I do because it's my show. Morning, everybody. M-E. Me. My show. Get with the program. I'm sorry. Subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Or do that. Yeah, do that one instead of me being mean to you. Smiley face. I figure I might pull the old, if I build it, maybe Ray Liotta and Kevin Costner will come. They'll show up. They'll have a game of baseball over here or over on that side of the room, and it'll be a good time. And the audience is like, the one that's looking for a show like this. They'll watch a show like this instead of trying to jam something that doesn't fit into the square pegs, into the square holes. Sorry, I got a whole fistful of round pegs. I'm just gonna present my round pegs and wait for round holes to show up. Yeah, that's what we're gonna end on. A fitting things into a hole metaphor. I don't know. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I'm the square hole. Maybe I'm the square hole. Check out the podcast, No Such Thing as Grown Ups. Subscribe to that as well on iTunes. Buy books. Click on things. Previous next episodes in the top. Click on the cat's butt at the end to subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. Bling, 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 blah. Be good. Be careful. And morning, everybody. Click on my butt or Ripley's butt to subscribe. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Click on my butt.